Hi, and welcome to Medical News Now. I am your anchor today, Kylie Tateishi. Today we're going to be talking about the word colic. We're going to be sending out our reporter Kenny Goodman down to CSU Chico, where he's going to ask a few students and faculty members to describe how a horse might feel, how to prevent and how to treat colic. Then later on, we're going to get a presentation about what the real meaning and definition of colic means. So here I'm going to send it off to Kenny Goodman, where he's at Chico State campus. See y'all later, folks. Have a good day.
Today we're here with Alex. Alex, what is your major?
Ag business?
Ag business. Okay, you know anything about horses?
Not too much, but kind of.
Yeah? Okay, do you know what colic is?
If I had to guess, it has something to do with a disease that a horse could have.
Okay. Do you know what a horse might feel like when it's experiencing colic?
I'm going off of pure guess, and I'm gonna have to go with it affects something with its joints when it's running or something.
It's joints when it's running.
Yes.
Okay. What might a horse look like when it's experiencing colic?
Maybe like a limp when it's
limp?
moving around.
Just a limp, not rolling around or anything like that?
No.
No.
Maybe
Just a limp when it's running?
Yeah, just like a limp.
Okay. And do you have any idea how colic might be treated?
Surgically?
Physically?
Yeah.
Like
Or
how
medicine?
physically?
I don't know.
Medicine? No? Okay. All right. Well, that's what we get from Alex, the ag business major. Okay, so today we're here with Trevor. Trevor, tell us what your major is.
Agriculture science and education.
Ag science major. All right. We've got a winner here. Trevor, can you tell us what colic is?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, I'm not a horse person, but I know it's a horse disease or horse digestive issue, if you will, so to say disease. It has to do with improper feeding or poor quality feed. That's about it. I've never had a horse that colicked or been too familiar with it.
So you couldn't tell us what a horse feels like when they're colicking?
Not personally, no. I've never seen one actually
No.
colic.
No.
Feels expensive, I'm sure.
So you couldn't show us what it looked like either?
Probably not, no.
No? You don't want to give it a try?
If you stuck me out in the pasture with a bunch of horses and one of them's colicking, I could probably figure out which one it was.
All right. Do you have any idea on how colic is treated?
No, I don't. Like I said, because I've never really experienced horses that are colicking, and I usually don't deal with treatments until I arrive at the issue, so couldn't even tell you. It's not my area of expertise.
Obviously not. Obviously not. Well, as an ag ed major, we can see he's got to go back to school a little bit more.
Or just watch your video.
Hey, there you go. That works too. All right, thank you, Trevor, for your time.
Okay.
Hey, we're here with Dr. Dodson, and we're going to be talking to him about colic. We'd like to find out what he knows. Dr. Dodson, what is your part of the College of Ag?
Oh, my role is a professor in agricultural education, so I have pretty singular focus in that I help prepare young people that are considering a career in agricultural education at the high school and maybe community college level.
Okay, have you ever had any experience with colic?
Not personally. Way back when I taught high school agriculture, and that's been some time ago, Kenny, we taught animal diseases and pests and such.
Okay.
So
Do you have any idea what colic is?
I'm trying to remember. It seems to me like it's a buildup of gas in a part of their digestive tract because they've eaten too much rich food or grass, or I can't remember the details of what they ate to cause that, but that's what I remember.
That's the best answer we've had so far.
Okay.
So what might a horse feel like when it's experiencing colic?
You mean the horse itself, or
Yeah.
physically feel if you were to go up to it?
You know, like the horse, what would it feel like itself?
Gosh, I got to feel that it would feel bloated.
Loaded? A lot of gas?
Tight.
Tight?
And uncomfortable because it kind of causes the digestive tract, if I'm not mistaken, to press on other parts of the internal body.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but that is that.
Okay.
I think that's what I remember.
What might the horse look like when
I
it's
think
colic?
that their abdomen is expanded. It's blown up. It's enlarged.
Do they like to roll a lot? when they're?
Gosh, is that a symptom of colic? That sounds familiar.
That
That's
sounds
a leading
familiar?
question. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go with a yes
Okay.
on that.
Okay. And how would you treat colic? Do you have any
Gosh, if
idea?
I remember right, they told the horse students to walk them.
Walk 'em?
Yeah, kind of keep them moving and hope that twists things around a little bit to release some of that gas. Now in cattle, in bloat, they actually puncture the side of the animal, but I don't think they do that in colic in horses.
I would hope not.
No, okay.
I would hope not.
So I would say walk them. Maybe there's some kind of medication that they give them, but that's all I remember. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
All right. Well, hey, you've answered our questions the best so far. So thank you, Dr. Dodson.
You're welcome, Kenny. All right.
Colic. The most common thing that kills horses usually resides in the large colon or the small colon. The large colon can have parasites in it because of all the wet material that's being brought in, especially during the spring. But then during the fall, it decreases because there's no more moisture in the feed. So then there could be a buildup of all feed or sand, depending if you're feeding on a mat or not. And then in the small colon, because it gets so much smaller than the large colon, it has a hard time moving objects through there. So if they ate any type of object that they weren't supposed to, that's indigestible by a horse, then it gets stuck right here in the colon, which then leads to the rectum. And when nothing comes out the rectum.
So to talk about the most common clinical signs of colic, right here is one example where a horse is stretching out as if to urinate, but it's not. This is to stretch out the abdominal area to get whatever's stuck in the abdomen open. And here's another way that they do it by rolling around violently. It's discomforting, and to roll around, it's trying to untwist the large or small intestine, whatever is stuck in. Here's another example where a horse is pawing at its flank area or its abdomen area as in discomfort and trying to kind of point out to us humans where it might be having some trouble or issues. And here's another way that they do it. It's more of a pointing kind of way with their head. They point to their flank or their abdomen area, repeatedly doing this constantly all the time. They also do this where they put their muzzle into a watering bucket, but they don't actually drink the water out of the bucket. It's kind of just a way to stretch out their body to get that large or small colon twisted. Excuse me. And here's another way they sit like a dog, which kind of made me laugh in a way, but it's to help them relax their hindquarters where it's a discomfort to them. And they sit like a dog. And the pawing again, they paw with their hooves on the ground as in discomfort again. And it's kind of just a way of relieving the pain and stress they're going through with the inflammation. And here's another way to tell if they're colicking. They, in their discomfort, they flare their nostrils up and they are showing kind of a sign of colic. Yeah, sometimes they do it when they're like kind of upset, but if they're doing it constantly, and some preventions right here, you'd want to feed them in either a pasture where they're eating forage straight from the grass or they're eating from a bucket, because the stuff on the ground, you might get sand or dirt in it, which can cause colic. You also want to try and feed 2 to 3 small meals a day instead of 1 large meal, because they don't have the time to digest the meals, and doing the 1 large meal, they're trying to eat it so fast because they're so hungry that it can cause a buildup because the microbes can't break it down. You also want to try and do an exercise regimen, keep it on a daily routine. Either let them run in pasture, put them on an easy walker just so they can get some exercise, stretch out those that colon area and the intestines just so there's no blockages. You also want to make sure there's fresh water for them to drink so that they have fluids running through them all the time, because when they dry up, then the feed won't digest. Also, if you're in like a really cold area, you want to make sure that the ice will freeze so they can have water. You also don't want to stress them out too much. So that means don't over exercise them, and make sure that you're not moving them around constantly. The number one horses that get the most colic is usually the racing horses, because they're moving constantly and getting over exercise. So there's two categories: medical and surgical. Medical you can take care of with medicine, which is usually the parasites and impactions, where surgical you have to get in there because it's an obstruction and you have to surgically remove it.